Hey guys, we're back again. ExtremeHydrogenLabs.com. Well, as you see, disaster as usual around here. We've been working hard on a handful of projects. Hoping to get somewhere a little better than where we are right now. I mean, we're doing pretty good. Look at the contour cell here. Trying to get a good shot. I know it looks a little goofy, but I'll tell you, it fits real nicely underneath the air dam, between there and the radiator down low in the vehicle, and the little grill that's on there, the little oval grill on the front. I've got it to where the little grill pops off, and this cap right here is underneath that. And you can see the plate system maybe down in there. It's just a two-plater. Electrode there, connector, whatever you want to call it. So I stressed when I built this cell that those plates had to be exactly perfect, because this thing was glued together. That was it. It's over with. You're not taking it apart. You have to saw it apart. And so, anyways, we took the cell back off. We're going to do a little different testing here. Everything else is still in place on the contour. We ported the hydrogen out of this port right here and ran it through a bubbler, very small bubbler, and put it right into the air box. And well, it's actually a silencer. It's on top of the throttle body of the vehicle. I got rid of the air box or air filter box and put a K&N on there. Not bad mileage. Not bad mileage at all. Between 50 and 60 I've been estimating. Even though my testing's been a little crude. Don't hold me to it, but I'll tell you, huge increase in fuel mileage. Instead of putting $40 a week in the car, I'm putting like $10, $12. And I ran several mileage tests, and it's somewhere between 50 and 60. The car got 22, 25 before. Anyways, what we're going to do here is I came up with a couple ideas. Let's see if we can get this here. It's kind of tough. I actually need somebody to help me with this, but as usual, I'm by myself. Okay. This nice little thing here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that inside here. This goes all the way to the bottom of the cell. And it's going to come in here. Connects to this. It's just a fitting. Well, that was the original output. Well, that's going to go there, and this is going to be submerged in the electrolyte. Then what I've done, my cap. I put a hole in the top, I put a T-fitting on it. And this is where it's going to get a little complicated. It's going to be a little, I'm going to try and make the best understanding for you guys as best I can on this. Probably shouldn't be telling anybody this, but I'm pretty generous with my information. I probably shouldn't be, but whatever. These are some nice little things I get from a friend at Ford's. Well, I used to work at Ford's. They're a one-way valve. Well, I have to incorporate one of these in here. And what the whole goal is here is one side's going to go to the manifold or the PCV. I haven't decided yet. And that'll be high vacuum. Let's per se you're at cruising speed, you're not in the throttle, or you're at lower RPMs, you have a high vacuum. So we'll be drawing off one side. Now I have to incorporate this valve so I don't mix the two. The other side goes into the fitting I have, which this is basically the same design here. A little nozzle on it pointed right down into my throttle body. I mean, it's within a 1/4 inch of the butterfly. And that's how I was originally doing it, with just that and out the side port. Well, I got to thinking, you know, this cell puts out 15 psi. Well, it buries it on the magnehelic gauge, which I've showed you on some of my other cells. I can bury that gauge like nothing. Well, I got to thinking, well, I'm drawing off this thing. Well, why not put an inlet in that goes down into the water and then draw off the top? So those of you that know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to try and explain this the best I can. When you're in a high vacuum, which would be hardly much throttle, or at, let's say, cruise control, you're going to be drawing a high vacuum, maybe 15, 18 inches of vacuum. What will be happening here is this valve will be limiting the high side, because I'm going to call one side low side and a high side. Actually, I'm sorry, this would be limiting the low side. The low side is the one will be going to the throttle body. So basically what's going to happen is the cell won't be airtight anymore. It will draw outside air, but it'll draw it in to that tube I showed you, and that tube is submerged, which will bubble and bring bubbles up. So it doesn't cause a huge vacuum leak on the engine, of course. The engine will race up on these fuel-injected engines. That's just the way they are. Cause an air leak, they throttle up, or the RPMs raise. That's why they have a IAC, idle air control, blah blah blah. All that does is cause a vacuum leak, so to speak, and controls the idle. Well, I'm figuring that being drawn on like that, I can pull more hydrogen out of the cell rather than drawing a deadhead closed container. I mean, like I said, I'm making pressure, but why not try drawing a little harder on it, and then on the opposite side, when you step into the throttle, this valve's not going to allow the low side to suck, so you're not sucking through the PCV at the same time, because I'm not sure what that'll do. I'll have to test on that. I'll get the best of both worlds on this. I'll get foot in the throttle, draw on hydrogen, and I'm not one to put the foot to the throttle anyways. But, you know, when you're getting on the expressway, whatever, you know, you're into it a little bit. But then when you're at cruising speed or at idle and you have very high vacuum, you're drawing hydrogen rather than a closed throttle body, which you're drawing some then, but you're still at a dead head. So, not no more, folks. I'm hoping to have this done tonight. have this put on maybe tomorrow. It's getting late. I've been working a lot of hours at my job. I have to have a job because I'm certainly not making any money at this. Maybe someday down the road, but hopefully. Hopefully I plan on saving everybody money, and because this gas is just ridiculous. And, you know, I don't care if it goes down to $2 a gallon. Let's make it better. See you next time.